Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Fired Up used test. Today we're going to be going back to mine and many other people's youth. Not Matt's obviously, because Fired Up don't sell wooden ox wagons, but to the glorious 90s where I was in my teens. Obviously, like all my friends, I used to ride a bike to school, first a 50cc and then a 125. And because that is all we knew and that is all that was available to us, it is what we pored over. The ultimate goal was to have an Aprilia RS250. It was the fastest, meanest, slickest and sportiest of all the 125cc's, and all we drooled over. But the RS125 had a bigger brother, the RS250. That was in much the same vein, but with double the motor. And at the time, we couldn't even look at that. I mean, that would be like looking into the eyes of God himself. We were not worthy. But I'm not a little kid anymore. And this is an RS250. Like the RS125, the RS250 was based on the RSW250, Aprilia's Grand Prix machine, the bike that was winning everything at the time and was piloted by such legends as Max Biaggi, Loris Capirossi and Valentino Rossi. Obviously it had the same looks as the GP bike, otherwise what's the point? Have a look at this frame, this thick aluminium shiny frame. In those days it was all about stiffness. Today we've got all this rigidity and how to best kind of formulate rigidity for best handling, but in those days the stiffer the frame was, the better it handled. And then we got this swing arm. They called it the banana swing arm because of this upward slope, and many people theorized of why they did this. What is the point of this? How does it affect handling? Why did they do that as a shape? The truth is though, is the only reason it slopes up like this is to accommodate these two big expansion chambers on these two-stroke exhausts. I love that. Aprilia used to build their own 250cc V-twin GP motors, but for this bike they borrowed a motor from Suzuki, their RGV 250 VJ22. That was also a V-twin two-stroke. Naturally, they fettled with it, changing the ECU, those swing-arm changing twin exhausts, the barrels and the airbox, boosting the performance to 72 horsepower at the crank. The first thing I remember about these bikes, the RS250, is that it was a lot bigger. I seem to have grown a bit, in many ways, and it's a little cramped. Saying that, it is so small, so light, so agile. Oh, it's lovely in every way. I'm looking down at these upside down shower forks. They are fully adjustable. Here you got a whole lot of rebound damping and the preload over there to take you to the top of the, it's all just so beautiful. The dash has digital elements. This is in 2000, well this was the last model of 2000, this was in the 90s where digital wasn't a thing yet, we're all counting with abacuses. And of course it's so light, I mean you come to a corner, you just think about tipping in and yay, look at that. And then of course the big party trick, it's a two-stroke. And that means it's explosive. And I mean literally explosive. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I am Valentino Rossi when he still had long hair. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm loving this thing. As I mentioned, this is a 2000 model, which was one of the last years. I think it was the last year it was made. It has 25,000 kilometers on the clock. It's going for 120,000, and you know what, it's worth it. 120,000 for this thing, definitely. Since I first averted my eyes from the RS250 as a kid, I've ridden some far more superior motorcycles, including $1 million specials, supercharged rockets, and even a priceless world superbike. But this bike dawns from an era when I was truly amazed at the world. Here's the thing, the RS250 cannot hold a candle performance-wise to any modern day superbike or most of the modern day bikes, especially the exotic. But it does something more special. It takes me back to the days when I had to ask permission to do stuff that I now take for granted. It takes me back to the days when talking to girls was terrifying. And it takes me back to the days when bikes like this were an unreachable diety. It feels good. It feels really good.
What a lovely, lovely bike. And Don, I don't think there's anybody of a certain age who doesn't lament the passing of the two-stroke. They were just brilliant, weren't they?
I'd say road riders, most certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, enduro riders, you know, they still get them. But we
They
don't. I
do.
mean, it was just everything. I mean, there's that 250, the 125s we used to ride.
I know.
I mean, those little two-stroke things, they were like Grand Prix bikes. They
This
were.
is the thing. And they had decent performance for their
And they
actual
were light
capacity.
and they looked good, and they were just, you just wanted it. Nowadays, it's like, well, here we go. It's nice, and it's got great fuel economy, and it's got a... go away, go away.
All is not lost for the two-stroke. I mean, if we look at the Isle of Man, the Suter 500.
Yeah. No, I'm going to start with this. 576 cc's,
Yes.
which is a little bit cheating because it's supposed to be a 500. V4, two-stroke. It pushes 195 horsepower. Or more than, it says 195 plus. I don't know what the plus means. I don't know if it's a windy day. Anyway, 127 kilograms.
All that power out of not all that weight.
It like weighs as much as a scooter. I mean, really.
How did we get to a point where we gave up this technology?
And you know what? Okay, now more than that, it's fuel injected.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it. Okay, I mean, we all think, okay, that's advanced technology. KTM have their TPI enduro bikes.
Well,
enduro riders again.
I was just going to say, I mean, the fuel injection thing, yeah, KTM with that technology, but all that performance out of not all that
out of
weight.
nothing. Out of absolutely nothing.
How did we manage? Okay, I know that they died out because of the emissions, concerns and the noise concerns, but still.
But okay, the thing is that nowadays, I mean, okay, part of the problems before with carburetor feed is that you had to kind of mix the oil with the petrol, and that sort of killed a few
trees
and penguins and stuff. But anyway, but with direct injection, you don't need to do that anymore. There's a small problem. I mean, that Suter MMX 500, greatest bike available right now, it costs 1.8 million rand. No, you know what? I'm kind of upset, all right? There are none in South Africa. There are a hell of a lot of X6s and X7s and Mercedes this and people in stupid sunglasses.
Which cost 2 million rand
Which cost 2 million rand. You have your stupid car that just is stupid. Buy a Suter. Come on, somebody with money, sell your stupid X15. Buy a Suter.
He's getting worked up. It's time to go to an ad break.